and welcome to news. I am Daphne Kimamakoli. Coming up in weekend news, Remembrance Day of First World War, civil conflicts, Ebola outbreak, and the twin disasters. Opiate drugs abuse killed over 30,000 people in America in 2017. And Director General of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust urges employers to ensure their employees get social security number. All the stories and more lined up in this edition of Weekend News with me, Daphne Kimamakoli. President Julius Maada Bio, including all our dignitaries, diplomatic corps, and ex-servicemen, has laid wreaths in remembrance of the fallen heroes and heroines during the First World War, civil conflicts, Ebola outbreak, and the twin disasters. The 100 years Remembrance Day ceremony is commemorated each year on the 11th of November. The ceremony, which took place at the Sanotab Secretariat Building, George Street in Freetown, also targeted senior government officials. Monsieur report.
This structure was constructed just in front of the Mashaka Highway at Magbente village in the Koya Chiefdom, Putloko district. The house was built by one
Remembrance Day, also known as Poppy Day, is a memorial day observed by nations marking the end of the First World War to remember the members of the armed forces who died in the line of duty. Following a tradition inaugurated by King George V in 1919, the day also marked by world remembrance in many Commonwealth and non-Commonwealth countries. Remembrance Day is observed on the 11th of November every year in most countries to recall the end of hostilities of World War I in 1918. Hostilities formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in accordance with the armistice signed by representatives of Germany. An entity refers to the passing of the 11th hour. The First World War officially ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles of the 28th of June 1919. The memorial involved out of Armistice Day, which continues to be marked on the same date. In Syrian, various activities were outlined from October to November 11th, marking the Remembrance Day, where citizens come together to pray and lay wreaths in remembrance of the fallen heroes. Secretary General of the Ex-Servicemen Association, Lieutenant Colonel retired Francis Sanogoto, said that this year's Remembrance Day marks 100 years commemoration that Sierra Leone has been embarking on since 1918 to remember fellows who died during the World War. The Secretary General of the Ex-Servicemen highlighted that over 3 million soldiers fought and over 400,000 of them gave their lives for freedom and justice, as they will be always remembered.
In the Second World War, 4.5 million servicemen and women contributed from Africa, including Sierra Leone, the Indian subcontinent, and the Caribbean, of which 360,000 became casualties. Many more remain disabled to carry help throughout the rest of their lives. They gave their lives in the cause of freedom, justice, and peace. It is because of their courage and sacrifice that We will remember them and lay wreaths in their honor. This is also the time when we wear the red robes, described as flowers of remembrance.
For many decades, countries of the Commonwealth remember this day, and in Sierra Leone, as the government over the years has been partnering with other countries to remember this day, as it is a collective responsibility to honor the veterans who sacrificed for their people. He noted that Ex-Servicemen Association was founded in 1947 and recognized in 1948, and government later noticed them in 1952. Though they have been faced with some challenges.
The government and people of Sierra Leone throughout the years have maintained a sense of belonging towards the Commonwealth and its accredited organizations based on our common value. Because of this, we join the Commonwealth family of nations every year to commemorate the remembrance and honor of millions of men and women who made the supreme sacrifice against the forces of darkness and evil in defense of what they believe in.
Prayers were offered by the Muslim and Christian officials during the ceremony before the wreath laying, which commenced by President Julius Maada Bio and other dignitaries. President Bio also met with ex-servicemen during the remembrance service to interact with them. SABC TV News Eye in Freetown, Hawa Mosibe reporting.
Chairman and leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, Dr. Prince Alex Harding, has sympathized with former parliamentary aspirant for constituency 079 Abdul Karim Kanu and the people of Magbenta village, Koya Chiefdom in the Potloko district for the burning down of their party office a few days ago. Aruna Party Kama went along and now reports.
This structure was constructed just in front of the Mashaka Highway at Magbente village in the Koya Chiefdom, Potloko district. The house was built by one Abdul Karim Kanu and later transformed it into the SLPP constituency party office when he declared to contest for the seat as member of parliament for the constituency in the 2018 elections. According to the former aspirant of constituency 079, Abdul Karim Kanu, he has been going through a lot of battles in his chiefdom since he declared to contest as member of parliament under the SLPP in the constituency. He said the burning of the party office is seen as a witch hunt and called on the police to investigate the cause of the fire. He said the incident took place in the noon hours as he was about to witness a funeral in a neighborhood. He called on the party headquarters to rebuild the party office as its structure in the chiefdom is of essence. Chairman and leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Dr. Prince Alex Harding, said he is worried about the way property of their party members are being charged across the country. He called on the government and the police to do proper investigation on short matters as there must be some conspiracy in short happenings. The chairman and leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party urged the people to exercise calmness as they are going to ensure they bring to book perpetrators of short performance.
Of course, the IG extension, I know he's a honorable man and I expect him to take this particular investigation very, very serious, very, very seriously, because we don't want to have any chaos in this country and will not take it any further. Why is it other parties, functionaries' houses are not being touched mysteriously? Whether we are talking about solar panel, no. It's the intensity that takes place and the acceleration of the spread of the flame. It is unusual, except it has got a critical factor behind it.
Dr. Prince Harding assured them that as a party, they will ensure their party office is reconstructed for their use on the day-to-day party activities in the chiefdom. The office was electrified by 4 solar panels and 8 solar batteries, and the incident happened in midday, which left some doubts as to the cause of the fire that destroyed properties worth millions of leones.
Director General of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASIT, Fuad Dabo, has urged employers to ensure that their employees have a social security number. The Director General said that NASIT will soon start instituting legal actions against organizations and businesses that are not complying with the trust. He was speaking during a tour of Sarah Rutile Company, All Terrain Service, Vimetco, and Gold Tree, who have been complained to NASIT. Patrick Salia filed in this story.
According to Mr. Dabo, plans are on the way to sign memoranda of understandings with other key institutions dealing with the registration and supervision of businesses, because the trust is now working on a scheme to cover workers in the informal sector who have not been catered for by the existing NASIT Act. Sierra Rutile, he said, is currently the country's biggest private sector contributor. At ATS, Moses Kaitibi, Human Resources Manager, told the senior NASIT management team that they, like other companies operational in that Moyamba area, are supposed to be making payments to the NASIT office in Bo instead of Freetown, which has over the years been a major challenge, including obtaining statements. The company has contributed for over 100 months, and only 35 months have been captured by NASIT. At Vimetco, the bauxite exploration and ore mining company, the Human Resources and Corporate Affairs Director Alusain Conte pledged their commitment to continue being compliant, support and collaboration with the trust. Some of the challenges the company experiences with NASIT, Mr. Conte noted, include but not limited to the appropriate response of the National Trust, especially whenever the company has new hires and employees, plus the absence of a customers relations office that could help to alleviate the seeming mistrust between the company and its employees based on the percentage and precise amounts deducted from their monthly salaries. The issue of preparing annual statements from the trust was also raised here. He asked NASIT to check for the compliance rates of the companies contracted by Vimetco in order to avoid industrial issues that may unnecessarily someday taint the image of his company. The Director General of NASIT, Mohamed Fuad Dabo, informed him that an informal sector scheme is being worked on, including a social security court which is aimed at addressing defaulting.
And I want to tell them that NASIT this time around is not going to waste time with them at all. This is a law. You have to comply by the law. And let me also inform them that not only for them to pay the contributions, but for those who are delinquent, contributions come with penalties, and those penalties will not be waived in court. So let them be very prepared to face the new court that will be established very shortly. And I also want to encourage them not to allow themselves to be arraigned before the judges.
Already, the oil palm producing company Goldtree in Daru, Eastern Sierra Leone, had a similar plan for its contract staff, but was however baffled on how to go about it. Mr. Alfred Campbell lauded NASIT for such an initiative, which he requested to be given some pace in order to speedily actualize that. At Goldtree, with over 1,000 staff, Mr. Fuad Dabo implores them to continue doing best the good things that are being done. While the trust, he said, is ready to address whatever concern the company has, they should however not wait until the situation starts developing to a troublesome stage. Finance Manager of Goldtree, Mr. Campbell, promised to continue honoring their payroll obligations, but reported that foreign staff contributing to the scheme don't get their benefit after their services in Sierra Leone before they leave for their respective countries. The NASIT boss appreciates the frank discussion and promised looking appropriately with urgency into the concerns raised. However, at the Chinese construction company Chico, NASIT would have instituted legal action against them had it not been for the intervention of the NASIT DG and other state authorities to be patient so that more proper investigations can be done and later be allowed to comply with fulfilling their social security obligations. Mr. Dabo admonished the company to take serious its workforce by providing social security among other job securities and after-service benefits. The company's project manager, Zhang, noted to the NASIT management that they are challenged with the government fulfilling its financial obligations that will enable them to be fully operational, including paying NASIT. Otherwise, the company will be left with very little or no option to lay off most of the staff who are largely Sierra Leoneans. Eastern Region NASIT Manager Mohamed M.B. Kamara requested the management of Chico to provide the correct database of its employees, while Mohamed Fuad Dabo warned him against any false declaration, which has legal actions to follow if found culpable. Sierra Leone is one of the countries where social security contributions is seen as a heavy tax obligation, hence becoming law-abiding is the best thing to do. And so far, according to the 2014 updated NACIT database, the country has about 400,000 contributors. About half of that amount is from the formal private sector.
This is Weekend News on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Now for more stories. The Cotton Tree Foundation, with support from World Volunteers, has handed over a 3-classroom structure to the St. Josephine Bakita Daycare for the poor school in Lonsar Marampa Chiefdom in the Potloko district. The Chief Executive Officer of the Cotton Tree Foundation, Madam Joan Kamara, said they look forward to providing the children with a secondary school as well. Joseph Toure filed in this report. We're sorry for not bringing you that insight. Pope and Patriarch Theodorus II, accompanied by the Ambassador of Egypt to Sierra Leone, Ambassador Maha Al-Mahdi, have visited the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation at Tar Hill in Freetown. Soriba Samora has the story. And now for some sports news. The International Boxing Association recognized Sierra Leone Boxing Association President and Vice President Major Claudia Taylor and Solomon Kabu represented the country in the just concluded IBA Congress in Moscow, Russia. This move by Madame Taylor and Kabu has been viewed by the Eric Durasisi-led executive as impersonation. Solomon has been talking more in this interview.
I'm very proud to be here to represent my country, Sierra Leone Boxing, and a lot of issues has been discussed and the way forward to see how boxers can be improved, and especially in my own continent, which I found myself, Africa, that we planning that to make sure that our boys will be qualifying to the Olympic Games next year, and we planning to discuss more things later in the day to see how best Africa can be in the top level in the boxing in my country, and especially in Sierra Leone. I look forward to come back and give you a lot of information that I've got to make boxing is good. I'm very proud to be here to represent my country, Sierra Leone Boxing, and a lot of issues has been discussed and the way forward to see how boxers can be improved, and especially in my own continent, which I found myself, Africa, that we planning that to make sure that our boys will be qualifying next year, and we planning to discuss more things later in the day to see how best Africa can be in the top level in the boxing in my country, and especially in Sierra Leone. I look forward to come back and give you a lot of information that I've got to make sure boxing is good.
Joshua House, which is yellow, has won the New Pilgrims Nursery and Preparatory School second annual Inter-House Athletic Track and Field Competition. The Inter-Sports meet was held at the parade grounds in Freetown. Esther Maresama reports.
Pupils and teachers of New Pilgrims Nursery and Preparatory School were excited and colorfully dressed in their various house colors to mark their annual sports meet. The psychomotor aspect of education is key for the development of the physical abilities. Sports events also provide an opportunity to make and develop team spirit. In the 20-meter boys and girls race, David House Pink came first. Sack race, music and cheer, Lights for School, balloon race formed part of the track and field event. Pastor Patrick Koma, head teacher of New Pilgrims Nursery and Preparatory School, said the athletes were well prepared for a successful sports meet.
We normally have this sports meeting. This is our second annual sports meeting, and it has been a great pleasure for us to be here because it's part of our academic performance. We want to maximize the potential of the children, and as you can see today, we are here and the children have been performing, so we are actually happy, and this has been a great day.
He expressed thanks to parents and pupils for the display of discipline. Yellow House came first in the overall championship with 166 points, followed by Blue with 164 points. Mauve was the second runner-up and Pink came fourth. Trophies were given to various houses and the Giants Trophy was clinched by Joshua House.
Now for entertainment news. Abdul Bangura, aka Ebizi, is one of Sierra Leone's leading musicians who has set the bar of music in the country very high. Ebizi has collaborated with many international artists, mainly the Nigerian musicians. He has just released a brand new music video titled Malanemi, featuring the Nigerian singer Ricardo Banks. Our entertainment producer Mohammed King Milan Bangura filed in this report.
Abdul Bangoa, aka Ebizi, is one of Sierra Leone's leading musicians who have set the bar of music in the country very high. Ebizi has collaborated with many international artists, mainly Nigerian musicians. Ebizi started singing many years ago and was a member of the Black Leo family headed by one of Sierra Leone's hottest rapper, Amara Denisturi, aka Caudinero. Ebizi has coined a name for himself as Mr. Talk and Do, as he believes that whatever he says comes to pass, especially in collaboration with international stars. How did he come into contact with all of these international stars?
How do I get in contact with all these big names in Africa? It's just being humble and being me, and just know how to pay homage to the people that's been there before you. That's just what
Ebizi is back in Sierra Leone just 4 months after he left the country. He said he was in the country to settle some family issues and put things together for his upcoming show. Now he said he's back to finalize the release of his Talk and Do album at the Miata Conference Hall on the 10th of November, as the following day, the 11th, will be his birthday. Ebizi said his album consists of 20 tracks, and according to him, it's the first time a Sierra Leonean artist will release such an album. He said he has songs in the album with various Sierra Leonean musicians like Maurice the Wonder Boy, Mark Moody, Caudinero, LAG, and many more. He said he's happy to know that his fan base is growing in the country. Ebizi has just released a brand new music video titled Malemi, featuring the Nigerian singer Ricardo Banks.
Malane means come hug me. Okay. Malane means come hug me. Okay. And I decided to do a track like that with Ricardo because of my experience that I did with David O.
Ebizi gives shout out to his fans and the general public for love and support. He said he has a lot of surprises for them and believes that Sierra Leonean music will reach the top on international charts if only the public supports our local stars.
To end the news, the main points again. Sierra Leone has joined the world over to observe Remembrance Day of First World War, civil conflicts, Ebola outbreak, and the twin disaster. Opiate drugs abuse has killed over 30,000 people in America. And Director General of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust has urged employers to ensure their employees get Social Security number. That's all we have time for, and thanks for joining us. I've been Daphne Kimamakwole.